the civil rights movement lifted up its soul and lifted up the soul of our nation. Today, I just want to let you know that I am here to listen to you, and I've been doing that. I believe we need a civil rights agenda for our time, one that ensures the rights to a great education, so important, and the right to live in safety and in peace. I fully understand that the African American community has suffered from discrimination and that there are many wrongs that must still be made right. It is my prayer that America of tomorrow, and I mean that the America of tomorrow will be one of unity, togetherness, and peace. And perhaps we can add the word prosperity. Okay, prosperity.
And joining us now with reaction, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark and the CEO for the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. He was in the audience, the Reverend Daryl Scott. Reverend Scott, two things that stood out in my mind. When Al Gore would go before predominantly black audiences, he would go into he would change his pitch, his tone, his cadence, his delivery, and try and be a black preacher. Hillary did the same thing. I played it many times. I think that's so condescending. And I saw Donald Trump speak to people, as he does everybody, with a little bit of reverence for being in a church. I give him credit for that. But he keeps reaching out to the black community and saying, pointing out what I've been pointing out. Black Americans, P. Diddy even said it. They got shortchanged by Obama's promises. They're not better off. A 58% increase in the Obama years, black Americans now getting food stamps. A 20% increase, black Americans out of the labor force. They've been disproportionately impacted, and Donald Trump keeps making this outreach. Will it pay dividends for him?
I think it will. I mean, Donald Trump is saying things that need to be said, but politicians don't like saying, especially if you're with the incumbent administration, because any disparities or disenfranchisement on behalf or on the part of black America reflects negatively on the current administration. I mean, it's been 8 years of this current administration, and this is where it has gotten us. That's why I don't take offense to him saying, what do you have to lose? Because we've lost just about it. We don't have anything else left to lose.
Now, Sheriff, what was your take? I actually thought this was probably one of the best speeches he gave. I like the way he delivered it. I like the fact that he was there. I like Republicans fighting back this false, defamatory narrative that if you're conservative, you don't care about minorities. I've always resented that false accusation.
This has been nothing short of splendid. It even surprised me, and what I mean by that is I thought there'd be a little lag time, before we saw some results, but it seems to be happening. And I'm not talking about a huge shift, but black people just want to be talked to. What I got out of that whole speech, and I listened to it, but I like the tone in which he talked to us too. He talked to us like we're adults. He didn't talk to us like we're a bunch of infants, and he didn't show up in this very clumsy way like Mrs. Bill Clinton does, with a bottle of hot sauce in her purse and eating a plate of watermelon, and thinking that that's cool, or going into, like you said,
Am I allowed to laugh at this?
I know way is tired.
Do you guys notice Al Gore goes into a black church and he goes into that preacher, and the glory of the Lord shall be, and Hillary goes in, starts, I ain't feel no way tired. What is that? What are they doing when they do that? What the hell is that?
The other thing that I like, Sean, is he's right. We need a new civil rights agenda. The civil rights agenda of the 21st century for the Democrats has been to mainstream criminal behavior and more rights for criminals. But Donald was very clear, Mr. Trump, I'm sorry, with all due respect, better schools for their kids, meaningful work, adequate housing, things like that are what the black community needs. The problem for the Democrats right now, Sean, is that they can't look and extol the virtues of living in the ghetto, because that could kind of end this, but they can't say to black people, look around, isn't this great? That's the problem for them right now. They're going to have to spend a lot more resources on this than they anticipated going into the final 60 days.
All right, guys. Thank you both.
Thanks, man. God bless you.
You too. God